Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Pazzo Gaming. Today we're going to go through the Cyanite Reprocessor, which will essentially be taking the cyanite, which is the waste product of burning yellorium inside a big reactor, and converting it into plutonium, which can also be burned back into the reactor, thus increasing your efficiencies and everything else, and lowering your dependence on finding new yellorium, because it can help considerably lower your yellorium intake. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to build a cyanite reprocessor like so. You want to get 4 reactor casings just around the outside. You want to have 1 iron ingot at the top, yellorium fuel rod in the middle, 2 pistons, and a redstone at the very bottom. Once you have that, the next thing you want to do is you want to get an area, probably about like a little 6x6 area, kind of like this area right here that we're going to use. And we're going to build a little 4x4, or a little pool of water. The reason is the cyanite reprocessor does use a considerable amount of water. You can bring it in on a tank. However, I find this is probably one of the easiest ways, is just simply building a little pool and making it still water, and then putting a pump. So the pump that we're going to use is actually the standard Buildcraft pump, and the pump can be built like so. So the pump consists of 4 iron ingots around the outside, 1 iron gear, 1 redstone, 2 tanks, and a bucket. And that will get you your pump from the BC factory, which is original Buildcraft. So the pump only requires essentially 2 things. One, it requires a way to get liquid out, so we're going to use some conduit for that, and it requires power, which we're going to use the energy conduit. So coincidentally, we have our capacitor right here. We're just going to run that straight across, and that gets power to this, and you'll notice that it immediately turns green when it's pumping, and that green light should turn off once it fills up its internal tank, which you can see it did. And the next thing we're going to do is actually place our cyanite reprocessor, which we made. Where's mine? Mine's up here. And I'm going to place it nearby. So I'm going to place it right about here, just for simplicity. And the first thing we're going to do is we're actually just going to run plumbing to bring the water from the pump over to the cyanite reprocessor. So you'll notice that right now this tank is empty, and that's because we need to specify on this grid where it's coming in. So this is the front face, which we're seeing right now. So we want to go to the left side, and we're going to go to the blue color, and we're just going to keep clicking on it with our left mouse button until we get blue. And what that will do is that will stimulate the water to come into the tank, and as you can see, it's filled up right now. The next thing it requires is it does require power, much like the pump. So we're just going to extend the power cable that we already ran, and that's going to go in, and we'll notice that the power now is full. And the third thing we need to do is that we need to actually bring the cyanite, which is from our reactor when it was running, over into our reprocessor. So I'm just going to run this 1 conduit all the way over. And now that we got that connected, we'll have to change the top so that it represents the red, which is going to be our input. We're going to change this to insert on the, let's go with the purple channel, and we're going to go with export, and I'm actually just going to move this to the back side. Make it a little easier here. We're going to bring this around the side. We're going to export, which is the green, on this side, and we're just going to join these 2. And so what I can do is I can actually specify colors. So we're going to go out on the blue and in on the purple. And then if I go to the same thing over here, we're going to select in and out, which is right here. And we're going to go, okay, we want it to insert off of whatever comes out of here, which is the blue color. So our insert will be blue. And our export, we specified, will be purple. And on our purple one, we actually want to make it only export cyanite. So we're going to go, okay, on our export only to purple. We're going to put in a filter, and our filter is only going to take out cyanite out of the thing to put over there. and we're going to make it active without a signal. So that will go out with purple, in with blue, and that's in with blue, or in with purple, out with blue, and that's the same thing over there. And so we can actually see right now it's starting to actually pump. It brought all the cyanide over here. Our Cyanite Reprocessor is actually reprocessing it, and that's going to be going into plutonium, which then the plutonium will show back up within our tank, as we can see right here. So if we watch this, we'll actually see it tick to a 3, which means the next ingot just came from our reprocessor, which you just saw. So what we're going to do is now we need to specify on our filter, which is right here, not only extract yellorium, but to also extract plutonium. So we just have to grab one of the ingots, and we just have to put it within the filter. And so now the filter will also try to inject plutonium into our reactor, which will help it when it's running. So I think that just about clears up everything that we need to do for this one. So that goes over the Cyanite Reprocessor, which is a great way to automatically convert all the cyanide, which is your waste product, into plutonium, which then can go back into your reactor and allow it to continue running. So hopefully you guys appreciate everything in this little walkthrough and everything else. If you do have any questions or you want us to do a spotlight on a specific mod or whatnot, let us know. If not, we're just going to continue with this world and continue adding to it. We are going to do practical builds, so they're going to add on to each other and carry on from there. So if you did want to find out more about how we built this reactor, you can check out our last video. If not, stay tuned and we'll soon have a new video posted. Talk to you soon. Thanks.